All right, class, this is the final Ishmael lecture. This will be a short recording because the ending is, just very small. But there are some important things here metaphorically that's going on. One thing is, Ishmael dies. In fact, we get a little bit of a conversation where he goes to tell the Sokolow's butler, Partridge, I believe his name was, that he's dead. And he says we could have saved him. This here is a reference, to, of course, Ishmael being symbolic for levers, that we could have saved them. And of course he says, are you sure they would have let us? Which typically levers don't like to be saved, quote unquote, because it means they have to assimilate into civilization. And a lot of times they'd rather move on or die. And if there's nowhere left on the planet to move on to, well, choices are limited. So we get a reference back to the poster from the first chapter that said, with man gone, will there be hope for gorilla, which, insinuates, a couple things. It's called a cone, Koan. And a cone is something that can be interpreted and you can be argued for more than one way, meaning more than one thing. So one, version of this is, with man gone, now that humans are gone, will there be any hope for gorilla? And there's two implications. One, that, gorilla can't be saved. They couldn't successfully survive on the planet without us. And two, the only way for them to be gone, for them to survive is if we are gone. Or if there's none left in the world and they're only in zoos, if man's gone, what will happen to them? But then on the other side, it says, with gorilla gone, will there be hope for man? And, we have, again, those multiple meanings. Does all the gorillas in the world, do they all have to be extinct for us to finally catch on? Or, our closest living ancestor on this planet, we share most of our DNA with, compared to everything else on this planet. If they're gone, does that mean that we will shortly follow, that one day we'll be gone too? Or does it mean that, because we can't learn from them, or does it mean that with them gone, is that the only thing that'll wise us up and make us change? And that's the final message here, that contemplation, because you can interchange levers for gorilla and takers for man. And that's kind of the big idea here. So basically another idea, and the reason why Ishmael dies, in this section, and the difficulty he has trying to save them, these are all problems that civilization creates that you can only have money for. But one of the reasons why it's important that Ishmael dies is kind of like every Disney movie. In order for a child to become a hero of the story, the parents have to be eliminated from the story, right? So if you think of like, Frozen, Snow White, all these things, the parents are always either dead or they're in some shipwreck or they're gone away or, they're missing or who knows, they get separated from them. And it's the same thing here. Your parent, in a sense, is the reader of this book. The book itself, the author is gone. And so the question is what are you going to do with this knowledge now? This knowledge has some extremely good points about, the state of the planet and some of the issues that we're having, which may lead to our extinction. And, so this is going to be things that affect you guys in your lifetimes. I've already seen things change drastically since I was your age, and it's going to get even crazier. So, it's also a challenge to you to engage with the material and to think about how you're going to apply this knowledge to everything that you do the rest of your life. So, that would be nice to have in the discussion board. So you should have everything you need now to do the compare and contrast essay. And you really want to think about the idea of levers and takers. Really don't make a list. Don't really try to think about these concepts and represent them well. All right, class. I hope you've enjoyed the novel.